What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Pastor Jamal Bryant. You know, I am not the biggest fan of these celebrity preachers, these guys who are constantly all over the place. Whenever there is a quote-unquote black hate crime, whenever there is an opportunity to be around a celebrity, I don't take a lot of these guys seriously. You know, you're better off with your local pastor because Jamal Bryant to me is the type of guy that is a part of what I like to call the pandering congregations of America. You got the pandering congregations of America. We have all these preachers in these mega churches who tell these women what they want to hear. Now there's a few here and there that will go off of that particular grouping and will actually think for themselves. But most of these guys, a lot of these guys do nothing but pander to black women, and they care nothing about the black community. They don't put anything in the black community, but they'll be there as soon as there's a black hate crime. What about the fact these black communities are ruined? And a lot of these guys like Jamal Bryant do absolutely nothing, but you see them all the time, right? They collect money in the name of, but they don't put anything back in, right? So when you see Jamal Bryant speaking on Kevin Samuels and how misinformed he was, and the fact that he got checked by several males, including Omarion, shout out to Omarion, and he had to backtrack. Not only did this guy have to backtrack, he moonwalked. Jamal Bryant moonwalked. And the thing about Jamal Bryant is that he's not the most wholesome. I mean, this guy has never treated women in his life right. And before we get to this, we have to go back to the beginning. All right. Jamal Bryant takes aim at Kevin Samuels. Even beyond the grave, Kevin Samuels continued to tap on the nerves of his most ardent critics, notably Pastor Jamal Bryant of the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Georgia, according to Hot New Hip Hop. This is him here. Let's see.
You are listening to men who have no authority. How can a man say that you are of low value after 35? How can a man say that you do not have the level of traction of a high-powered man when that man has got to get a GoFundMe for his funeral? Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You got to be in that place where you operate in the authority of God. Look at another sister around you. Tell them, it's not that I hate men. Come on, look at another sister. Say, I do not hate men. I just despise weak men. I despise cowardice men. I just ain't got time for men who are insecure about my gift. I'm not going to dummy down because of what God got me. I don't have to lower my standard.
See, that was Jamal Bryant. And I wanted y'all to listen to that because this is how much of a goofball Jamal Bryant really is. This is a guy who has cheated on the women in his life. This is the guy that has no problem screwing the women in his congregation. You know why? Because those women come to him seeking guidance, seeking help, seeking lies, not truth. And he gives them the lie, right? Or maybe in that woman's mind, she seeks the truth, but she does not get it, right? She instead is getting, screwed physically and mentally by Jamal Bryant. And the thing about Jamal Bryant is this. He's the reason why a lot of black men have checked out of the church, because we know that these guys are complete clowns, okay? The fact that Kevin Samuels passes away, and the first thing you do is that you put together a sermon to a bunch of mentally unstable women in your congregation who you're telling them, listen, you need to continue on this path of loneliness. You need to continue on this path of singledom. Don't change anything about yourself. It's that man that needs to change. But what you're not telling those women, Jamal, is that men have moved on. A lot of men who have money and resources are moving on. They're not waiting. They're not going to sit here and try to pick through women who have to listen to you every week, tell them that nothing is wrong with them. They don't have to change. That man is weak because he doesn't accept you for who you are. The only man in these women's lives is you. once a week or twice a week whenever they go to church. These women are not getting helped, Jamal. All you're doing is making them stay complacent. And complacency is what is destroying a lot of these melanated women. Complacency is the reason why they are single. Now, they may say that they're happy being single, but let's be real, they're not. This is why they know who Kevin Samuels is. We know who Kevin Samuels was if they weren't miserable, because they obviously had to go look for answers somewhere. Now, I want people to understand something. I'm doing this video because I don't like these pulpit panderers, these liars, these deceivers, these cheaters. These guys commit more sins behind the pulpit than they ever did outside of it. These guys use Christianity as a hustle. They are no different than the scammers. Guys like Jamal Bryant is nothing more than a scammer who has cheated on the women in his life, who has sinned behind the pulpit, but he wants to be the voice for morality. What morality is that? You're pushing women to be even long. This is why you see women ending themselves, because you have people like Jamal Bryant who tells them, listen, don't go seek help. Just put everything in faith, right? Don't change yourself to go out there and get love in your life. Just be who you are and continue to be single and alone. Continue to deal with your problematic narcissistic exes. But don't go and date that good man that wants you to change, or that guy who is successful that say, here, this is the type of women that I like, right? Because what happens is they don't go seek guidance for Jamal Bryant anymore. They go to a guy like Kevin Samuels. I think people need to seek guidance outside of social media. You need to get your life together outside of social media, not on it, right? Now, I wanted y'all to see that. Now, let's get to the apology from Jamal Bryant. This according to BET. Pastor Jamal Bryant is apologizing to Kevin Samuels' family after some say he ridiculed the controversial YouTube star in the wake of his sudden death on May 5th, 2022. Bryant expresses remorse for commenting on Samuels during a Mother's Day sermon, calling him a weak man. Benjamin Franklin once said, the best way to mess up an apology is to add an excuse. I extended my deepest condolences and apologies, hashtag Kevin Samuels family and friends. Thank you to all who purposed to keep me accountable. Bryant captioned under a video of his public apology at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Stonecrest, Georgia via Instagram. We grow from mistakes and birth maturity, humility, and will always defeat arrogance. We grow as we go. This is a 3-minute video. I'll put this in, y'all can go and check it out. But this is basically the video here. Just want to see, but this is the video. It's 3 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing. According to the New York Times, Samuels fashioned his career as an image consultant who provided relationship advice to black men and women. Many saw his views as both outdated, misogynistic, and downright disgusting. Bryant had previously addressed a video that Samuels shared before his death, which labeled unmarried black women over 35 as leftovers. Bryant then captioned those at his church asking, how can a man say you are low value after 35? Before asking how Samuels could make such claims when the man has to get a GoFundMe for a funeral. Even though if any of you are actually intelligent, you will know that Kevin Samuels his family does not need a GoFundMe, okay? People close to Samuels reportedly told TMZ that the GoFundMe circulating online isn't condoned by his family, adding that GoFundMe offered Kevin's family the few $100 raised on the fake page, but they refused to accept it. So it was returned to the donors. So I guess they meant to say a few $100,000. No, say $100. I saw one for about 50,000. So I was thinking that might be the one, but I got that mixed up. Samuels was found by the Atlanta police unresponsive on the floor of his apartment. No cause was cited. It's 57. Well, I can give him props for doing this, but he should have never had to do this. You know why? Because he shouldn't have went to that point. I mean, you're doing a Mother's Day sermon. You should be telling these women what they should be looking for and how they can get through life and navigate it as mothers, finding the right man. not by telling them what they want to hear, Jamal. And the thing is, Jamal, you're apologizing because you realize people were getting on you. Celebrities were getting on you. People in your church was getting on you. And probably the woman that you're with is getting on you. See, once again, you have this, the black community is full of males like this. I want y'all to understand. This is why these males are so screwed up. That's why the women in the community are so screwed up. Because we have a community full of Jamal Bryants. These guys that will attack other men to pander to other women. The community is full of men like this. This is why guys like Kevin Samuels, myself, and others who would disagree with women, they have such a hard time digesting that, because in their minds, you need to lie to women, lie to women, lie to women, lie to women, tell women what they want to hear, never tell them the truth, get as much as you can out of them, because they are the true misogynists. The true misogynists are the men who tell these women what they want to hear to their detriment. Women need to hear the truth, no matter how harsh it is, especially if they go and seek it out. How would you know Kevin Samuels was talking about over 35-year-old women unless you actually went looking for it, or if you were hate watching it? Jamal Bryant, you are a complete idiot, bro. And I can respect that you apologized to his family, but this shouldn't have even been a conversation. You're a pastor. Pastors shouldn't put judgment down on anybody. I thought in the Christian faith, you're not supposed to pass judgment on to people, but you judged Kevin Samuels even though you didn't even know Kevin Samuels. You didn't even know Kevin Samuels, but you passed judgment on him. Why? Is it to get a pop out of your audience? It's absolutely ridiculous. It should have never gotten to this point, and he definitely should be ashamed of himself. So let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll see y'all on the next one.